All right. Today we're going to learn some Agadta about Matan Torah. It says in the Gemara Shabbos, Daf Peites Peiches Amud Beis. Omar Rabbi Yisroel ben Levi. Sh'olo Moishe Lamoram, when Moshe Rabeinu went to Shemayim to bring the Torah. Amru Malach Hashem Zefnei Kadosh Baruch Hu. So the Malachim said to Hashem, Rabeinu Shel Olam, Ma leilud isha beneinu. What's doing a man that was born from a woman, a human being among us? This is the world of Malachim over there. They never saw a human being alive over there. Amar lohem lekabel Torah ba. Hashem told Malachim, Moshe Rabeinu came to lekabel Torah. Amru lefano. So Malachim told to Hashem, Chemdo Chamudo Genuza. Shegenuza l'chot teshamois v'shivim v'arba odoiros. It's such a treasure. It's hidden with you over here 974 generations. Koidem shenivra ha'olam. Obviously, it's not so posh to understand this. Before the world was created, there's no generations, there's nothing there. But there must be some certain level that's called 974 generation that the Torah before creation of the world was hidden with Hashem. Something says Alpaim Shana Kodmo Torah Lo'olam, 2,000 years. Obviously, there was no time and space before the creation, but it must be the way that in Chassidus explained certain levels of that the Torah was before the world and it was hidden with Hashem. So why would you want to give it away?
It's 2,000 years or 2,000 generations?
The one medrash says Alpaim Shana Kodmo.
Shana.
And over here it says 974 generations before the creation.
That's right. That's a lot more than 2,000 years.
Yeah, I'm saying it must be that those years are not Pashut years like we count them because there was no time and space over there. There's no measurement of time. Anyway, let's not get into it right now.
Okay.
Now they told the Malachim, Atam avakesh litna lebasar v'dam. This Torah that's with you, it's a treasure. You want to give it to basar v'dam. Right now it's a heaven, a holy world over there. It's such a low world, basar v'dam. They are very, very materialistic people over here. Mo enosh kitiskereno, uben odom kisivkedeno. The Malachim mentioned to Hashem the pasuk in Tehillim Ches. Mo enosh kisivkedeno. Who is the human being? You should even remember him. Meaning it's not worthwhile even to mention, to remember. Meaning why you want to give the Torah so low? Hashem Adonai Moadir Shemcha B'chol Haaretz Asher Tnohoitcha Al Hashemayim. Over there, you great. Maybe in this world, they look at you. You're great. You're above them. But Tnohoitcha Al Hashemayim. But you should give your glory in heaven. Yeah, that's also posted in the same capital Tehillim. So it says your glory. Hoitcha Tno Al Hashemayim. Why you want to give it to over here? Amar LaKadosh Baruch Hu Moishe, Hachzir Lehem Tshuva. Hashem said to Moshe Rabeinu, okay, they have a good taina. Answer them. Answer the Malachim. Amar Lefon of Rabeinu Shaloi Lo Misyara Ani Mipn Shema Yisrafuni Behovel Shubafim. Moshe Rabeinu said, I'm afraid they might burn me with the fire coming out of their mouth. Oysa Malachav Ruas Malachav Eshloyet says that they're fire. Amar Lo, Hashem told him, Echaz Bekisa Kavoidi, Bechazor Lem Tshuva, hold on to my throne, to Kisa Kavod, and give them an answer, meaning I'm offering you protection. Shanemar, Ma'achez Pnei Kisa Parshas Olav Anonai. This pasuk is an Iyov. Ma'achez Pnei Kisa Parshas Olav Anonai, meaning Parshas Miloshan Poras. He protected them with his cloud, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'amar Rav Nochem, Melamed Shepiresh Shakai. That's one of the name of Hashem. Miziv Shchinosoi V'anonoi Olav. He covered them with his. He protected them with his cloud, with the Shechina. Okay. Omar Lefan V'na Sheloilam. So now Moshe Rabbeinu started the debate with the Malachim. Why the Torah have to go down to over here? Now he has a protection of Hashem. He's not afraid of the Malachim. Amar Ravana Shaloilom, Torah Sha'ata Noisan Li, Maksiv Bod. The Torah you're giving me, what says in it? So Hashem told him, Anoichi Hashem Elokecha, Asher Tzichem Eretz Mitzrayim. That's the first mimer of the first dibur from Aseret Dibros. Anoichi Hashem Elokecha, Asher Tzichem Eretz Mitzrayim. I'm your God. I took you out of Mitzrayim. Amar Loim LeMitzrayim Yeradtem. He asked the Malachim, Did you go to Mitzrayim? LeParo Ishtabadatem. Did you work hard to Paro? Torah Lomo Te'elochem. What do you need a Torah? It doesn't even talk to you. Shuv Maksiv Bo. What else says over there? Hashem told him the second dibur. Lo Yelcha Elokim Acherim Al Ponai. So you should not have any other idols, but only serve Hashem. So he asked the Malachim, Ben Amim Atam Shruyim Shoivdim Avodas Gilulim. Would you have any Yetzer Hara ever to do idol worshipping? Are you among Goyim to do idol worshipping? You're on Shemayim. You're only with Hashem over here. You have the revelation of Hashem. So what do you need such a mitzvah? Don't do idol worshipping. Shuv Maksiva. What says over there? What else? Ksiv Zocher Esem Shabbos L'Kadshoy. It says over there, keep Shabbos. So he asked them, Klum Atam Osim Malochesh Atam Tzrichim Shvus. What, you're working hard the 6 days that you need to keep Shabbos? You don't work. So what do you need Shabbos for? Shuv Maksiv. Yeah. By the way, this time would be today the people that don't work the whole week. You could say the whole Shabbos coming, Shabbos Kodesh to rest. They could say, "What do you need Shabbos? You don't work the whole week." So you say, "You need to work during the 6 days." Anyway, it says, "Shuv Maksibo." And what else says? Lo siso. It says over there, don't give an oath on vain on Shem Hashem. Lo siso Shmo Lashov. He says, "Masul matan yesh b'neichem." What, you do business with each other, the malachim. If you do business, sometimes you have a conflict, sometimes you argue, you have dispute. Somebody have to give an oath. I swear, there's this way, that way. You don't have masama. You don't have any business. What do you need to Hashem should tell you a mitzvah? Don't make an oath on the name of Hashem in vain. You don't have any masama. You don't have to come to it. Shuv maksiba. What else says? Kabed asavicha v'esimecha. Honor your parents. Of them yesh lochem. What? You have father and mother that Hashem have to give you a mitzvah to honor your parents. You have no parents. Shuv maksiba. What else says? Lo sirtzach, lo sinnav, lo signov. Don't kill. Don't be immoral. Don't steal. He says, Kina yesh b'neichem. What? You have jealousy among you. Yetzer hara yesh b'neichem. You have yetzer hara that you have to watch out for those things. So you ask all this question to Malachim. What do you need a Torah for? It doesn't talk to you b'chlal. Miyad hoiduloi lakadosh baruch hu. Immediately after this argument, they said to Hashem, Shneimar, meaning they said to Hashem, okay, you want to give it to them? We'll mask him with you. Hoiduloi. Shneimar, Hashem Adonenu Moadit Shimcha Al Haaretz. This pasuk in Tehillim again. Most of this from capital 8. Hashem Adonenu Moadit Shimcha B'chol Haaretz. Yeah, meaning before they focus on Hoit Nohot Chal Hashemayim to give your glory on heaven. Now they say no, your name should be exalted. There should be holy in this Al Haaretz. This time they didn't mention to know, give your glory on heaven. Miyad, after that argument, call Echad, Ve'echad Nasal Le'oyev, everybody become a good friend, Oyev, a beloved friend to Moishe Rabeinu, U'mosar Lo Dover. Every malach give him some present to Moishe Rabeinu. Again, obviously the gift in that world is different than you get the gift in this world, something heavenly gift. Shenemar, again it's a posuk, in Tehillim Sameches, Olisa Lamorem Shavisa Shevi, Lakachta Matanas Ba'odam. You went to heaven and you brought something in captivity, meaning you took the Torah from there, you brought it to us now. You took away the Torah from there, Shavisa Shevi, Lakachta Matanas Ba'odam. You took presents. B'schar Shekarucha Odom, because the Malachim Koru Odom, they called them Odom, Beloshen Zilzal in the beginning. Who's this guy among us? What is doing among the Malachim? Because of that, and because they lost the argument, Lakachta Matonas, they gave him present. They realized he's right, we're wrong. Av Malach HaMoves Mosar Lo Dover. Malach HaMoves also gave him a gift. Shenemar, Vayiten es Aktoires, Vaychaper Aloom. That was by Meister Koirach, Vayikach Aaron, that says, Kasher Diber Moish, Vayetz Kovinach Alagam. There was a Magef over there, Vayiten es Aktoires, Vaychaper Aloom. And he brought the Ktoires, Aaron Cohen, and he, through that he stopped the Magef. V'yama ben a Meister ben a Chaim. So the Ilav Doma Lemi Abba Yoda. How did Aaron know? Moishe Rabeinu told him how Aaron knew where he knew that the Segula, that you go with the Ktoires and where the Magefa going on, people dying and alive, and you stop the Magefa because Malach HaMoves told him this Segula to Moishe Rabeinu. Rashi brings this on the Chumash over there that when he came to stop it, Malach HaMoves told him, "What you doing? Let me do my job." He said, "Moishe Rabeinu sent me over here with the Ktoires to stop the Magefa." But he says, "You shliach of Moishe Rabbeinu, I'm shliach of Hashem." Malach HaMoves told him, "Hashem sent me over here to this." He says, if Hashem would not tell Moishe Rabbeinu, he would not tell me. If he told me, the meaning Hashem told him. I'm also shliach of Hashem. Anyway, Koponim, how did Moishe Rabbeinu know the Segula? Because when he was in Shamayim, Malach HaMoves gave him matana. So this is the Gemara about how Moishe Rabbeinu got the Torah, brought the Torah to us. It's one through a whole argument with Malach. The question of it is very obvious. Malachim, obviously, they're very smart people. So what, and the whole argument of here on the surface looks very, very simple. What Moishe Rabbeinu tells them, you were not in Mitzrayim. No, they don't know that. You don't have Yitzhara, you don't have jealousy, you cannot kill, you cannot steal. You all the time, as he said, it's a very, very, very basic, simple time. Did he know that before? That the whole Torah talks for us? I tell you over there, keep Shemitah. What Shemitah are they going to keep? It tells you all the mitzvahs of the Torah, it's talking to us. So what the Havamina was? What Moshe Rabbeinu was mechadash to them. So the Indian is like this. The Torah could be learned in many, many ways. And furthermore, the Rebbe brings in a Sikh of Mashloah Kodesh that originally, like he says over here, Torah Kodma La'olam, Torah was before the world. Originally, the whole Torah was written in a very, very spiritual world, what it means over there, in the spiritual world. And a lot of those things could be explained in a spiritual way. Yeah? In of Mitzrayim, the way explained in Chassidus, it's in of Tzimtzum, Meitzer, that there was in of before the Tzimtzum, before the creation of the world, and there was after the creation. So within the Tzimtzum, there's many, many madregas over there. They learn the Torah in the way it applies to them. Avicha v'imecha, we learn this many times in Yon Chassidus. It's Abba v'Ima. The Zohar says Abba, it's Chochma, Ima, it's Bina. So they learn this Kabed Avicha v'imecha in the spiritual way. They learn Mitzias Mitzrayim in a spiritual way. To get out of the Tzimtzum, go before the Tzimtzum. Or whatever the Torah means, everything has meaning in a spiritual world too. And Malachim learned the Torah in a spiritual. So Moshe was Mechadash them, he was Mechadash them. Yeah, the Torah has meaning also in a spiritual meaning. You can learn the Torah the way it's learning in our world, then higher world, Olam Eitzirah, Olam Abriya, Olam Atzilus, and higher. It's true. But the main purpose of the Torah was Adarabba, to come down to us, because we were in Mitzrayim, the way it should be, like it says, Matan Torah, Vayered Hashem al Har Sinai. There was Hashem brought himself down to us, to the world, make the world the whole year. So the main purpose of the Torah, it's true you could learn a spiritual way, but the main purpose of the Torah, it's Adarabba, make this world spiritual. Like it says, Mo'adir Shimcha b'chol oretz. In this oretz, there should be Adir Shimcha, bring the holiness of Hashem over here. So that was the whole argument, and they agree with him. You're right. The Torah could be learned in a very, very deeper way, higher way, spiritual way. But the main purpose of the bringing Lasas Ladira B'tachtoinim, the bringing down over here, on the basic level. If it's not coming down over here, the Torah stays only in Shamayim. It's holy over there, but it doesn't make this world holy. And the Tachlis is to make this world holy. Okay. So this is okay, fine. You could say that was the argument. You convinced them that that the main Torah have to come down to us. We have to bring it, the Torah down to the Olam Asiyah, Gashmus Hazeh, to purify this world, to bring holiness to this world. Okay, fine. But the next question. The Torah could learn in many ways. And Adayom, many people learn Torah in many ways. There's a child, a 5-year-old, could learn the Torah in his own, with his cycle, with his understanding. And there is somebody, a big Gohan, could learn the Torah with his. And somebody could learn the Torah like Harizal, Tikabala. And everybody could learn the Torah in his own level. So what's the problem? Why the Malachim arguing, you, the Malachim, learn the Torah, you, the way you want to learn, the way it applies to you. And who, the Jew, is going to learn the Torah the way it applies to us over here. So what like it says in Chazal, Ner le'echad, ner le'meya. One candle could, you cannot say, don't use this light, I'm using it. Go ahead, you use it, I'm going to use it. That Torah could give light to everybody, to all the Olamas, all. The Torah is holy, the Torah is big, the Torah is Hashem, and so. So what's the problem? You have it and we're going to have it. What's the argument over here? Who's going to have it? So here's what's going on over here. The Malachim knew right now, wherever the Torah, the center of Torah is Shemayim, and Memele, all the decisions made in where the Torah is. Like it says in the Zohar, Istakel Bo'eraisa Boro Alma. Hashem will look at the Torah and create the world. So the power of the world is in Torah, and in that Torah is in Shemayim. Imagine right now in America they do all the decisions in the White House. It's a very powerful house. A lot of decisions made over there. So imagine they're telling you, we're going to take away the power from the White House. We're going to relocate it somewhere else now. People that work around the White House, they're not so easy going to give that power away. We have a lot of power over here. There is so many powerful people over there. They said, no, don't take away the power from us. We making the decision. We, the decision makers. And then when Moishe, when it came to Shemayim, said, I want the Torah. So they realized, we're going to lose this power. Right now, all the decisions made, the powerhouse is Shemayim, the Torah is over there, and B'schutz Torah, they are the important people. Right now, the Torah is going to go down. Now, all the decisions in the world are going to be done by the way it's over here, the way we paskin. We're going to say, we say the Torah, how that should be. We're running the world through the Torah. And that Malachim, they were not ready to give away power. Nobody ready to give away power. We know the story with Shaul HaMelech. Before he became king, he didn't want to become king. It was such an honor. But then after he got it, he didn't want to give it away. The Melucha went after he was killed. He didn't want to give away. He says, nobody wants to give away power. And that was the argument of Moishe Rabeinu. That you're right now you have the Torah, but the Torah was not created for you. It was L'chatchila our Torah. You were just keeping it for us. As we learn in the Gemara and Psochim, that for 26 generations before Matan Torah, Hashem kept the world going through Bechazda. That's why we have 26 Kilo Elam Chazda in Kapitel Kuf Lamadeh. It's called Halal HaGodol. But the Torah was supposed to come here. Without the Torah, the world is no Lulei Bris Yamav L'Chukos Shemaim as L'Somdi. Hashem says, without the Torah, I wouldn't create this world. The whole purpose of the creation was for the Torah should come down here. So it belonged to us. You kept it. You were Shemer Chinam or Shemer Sochar. You kept it over there. But right, it belongs to us. And that was the whole argument until the Malachim realized, that's the purpose of the creation. The Torah have to be by them. The Torah belongs to them. So meaning, with this we see a great thing. We have the Torah, but we have a great power in our hands. The Torah is a great, great power. The way Paskin over here, Hashem says Torah lo b'shamayim. How we Paskin over here, that's the halacha. That's how things goes, and that's a great power that we have. There was a Maisa, with the Tzemach Tzedek, that his grandchildren used to come to him, and one time when his grandchild, the Rebbe Rashab, came to him, and he saw that day that Tzemach Tzedek was giving a sigh, big sigh, a krecht. He saw he's disturbed a little bit. He says, Zayde, what's going on? Why are you giving a krecht? Tzemach Tzedek told him, everybody coming to me with all their problems, there's so much problems, says, it's too difficult for me. So the Rebbe Rashabi was about 4 or 5 years old, and 5 years old. He said to him, Zayda, he says, it's too difficult for you, what's going on. He said, look at God. He says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has more people coming to him with their problems. He doesn't give such a krecht like you. So he told him, how could you compare? How could you compare? He says,
does he know he
me
didn't give
to
him
Hashem. He says, Hashem has Torah. He says, that's the koyach he has over there. He could handle all these problems. He has Torah. He says, how could you compare it? So you know what the 4 or 5 year old answered him? Zayde, he says, if you tell the Hasidim you got no Torah, just let them know they're all going to run away from you. Meaning, you telling me the Hashem's koyach is Torah, so what do you mean you don't have that koyach? That's why you crack thing? He says, tell your Hasidim you have no Torah, they're all going to run away from you. The 4 or 5 understood that the whole cheshivus of my Zayde is because of Torah. Without Torah, what cheshivus you have? He says, let them know they're all going to run away from you. So we see, again, this whole argument Moishe with the Malachim was, who's going to have the power of the Torah? Who's going to make the decision of this world? And by the way, that will explain also, that the Gemara going to bring later on, that the Har Sinai has many names, 5, 6 names, and one of them is Sinai because Shenichnas Sinai La'akum. They start hating us. A different Pirushim why they start hating us. Adayom, what they're going telling about the Jews? They control the world. Now, I know I'm on record, I don't want to say this, but I will. There is some truth to it. Not because we're the richest, could be a poor guy, and not because we have connection, could be some of us don't have zero connection, there's others that have a lot more money. We control the world because Hashem gave us the Torah. When we do Torah mitzvahs, it affects the whole world. And when we do Torah mitzvahs, it has a great effect. And even they don't see it, their mazal, the neshama see it. There is some power in that Jew with the koyach Torah. He has great control of the world. And that was the argument of the Malachim was, we don't want to give the Torah to them. We don't want to give over this power to them. I remember in the 90s, the early 90s, I met in New York a Russian guy. They used to work in the Russian embassy. So I said that people in Russia, they know more than an average Russian guy. And then was going on the perestroika. I told him, what's your opinion about the perestroika? What's going on over there? You think it's going to turn democratic? Or what's going to happen over there? You know what they told me? They said to me, whoever has the weapon, he's the balabas. He's running and they say like this, and us, they were probably part of the KGB. The KGB has the weapon. Says, so we will continue to run the country. And that's Emes Adayom, the country run by KGB. So meaning, whoever has the weapon, he runs the country. Our weapon is the Torah. Whoever has the weapon, the Torah, he runs the world. Yeah, there's some truth to it, but not in a corrupt way. Not because, like I said, every one of us is the richest, has connections to it. No, some of us, most of us push it to people. But if you learn Torah, if you practice Torah, you got a great weapon and you running the world. Yes, you're controlling the world. Whoever has the weapon, he controls the world.